Hi, I'm farm-to-table chef Teca Thompson at tecathompson.com, and today we're talking about how to plant sugar snap peas and tomatoes on the same trellis. So this is a little tricky because they like very different temperatures. So if you're going to plant them both from seed, you're going to want to plant the peas about 4 to 6 weeks before the tomatoes. But today I'm just going to start with the peas as transplants and the tomatoes as seeds. That way we can get a jump on the growing period. So I've installed my trellis, and the soil around it is clean and fertile and ready to go. So I'm going to just take my little pea transplants and I'm going to transplant them along the side of the trellis. They're a little tricky when they get big because they like to cling to one another. So we're just going to transplant them along the side. So you want to make sure that the trellis that you're planting them on gets equal amount of sun on both sides. That way neither plant will suffer and not get exactly what it needs. So the great thing about transplanting tomatoes where peas have either been or where they are currently is that peas are high in nitrogen. Well, their roots give off nitrogen. So it's one of the only plants that replenishes the soil. And tomatoes absolutely love nitrogen, so it's going to leave a really rich environment for the tomatoes to grow, and after the peas are gone and their season has peaked. So the peas are planted, and we're going to let them set in. I'm going to water them, but only after I planted the tomato seed. And then as you can see, they're just ready to go on the trellis, and they can climb right up. So the tomato seed I'm going to do on the other side, and I'm just going to follow the guidelines for whatever tomato you're planting. I'm just going to make about a 1/2 inch hole, about 2 inches apart, and I'm going to plant the tomato seeds, but I'm going to plant a little more than we need so we can thin them out. So I'm going to plant 3 in each hole, like so, and then I'm just going to cover them up and water them in. I'm going to also water in my peas. Now you'll want to make sure that the ground stays moist and watered, especially while the tomatoes are germinating. You can water on either side depending on what needs it more, or water on both sides equally as the peas grow. So then the idea here is that the peas will go off first and they'll be ready to be harvested, and when you're done with the peas and they've peaked, you can just go and you'll cut them off right at the bottom right here on every plant, and then you can just take them out and then leave the roots in. That way you won't disturb the tomato roots, and that way the roots will continue to break down, add nutrients and nitrogen, which the tomatoes need, and then the tomatoes will grow. So that is how to plant sugar snap peas and tomatoes on the same trellis. I'm farm-to-table chef Teca Thompson at tecathompson.com. Thank you for watching.